important on LinkedIn. So we have YouTube channel for black and for dark. We put it in our blogs. So we take a YouTube and put it in blogs. So we found that very useful. But we also put it in our profiles. So you create a YouTube channel, merely provide content for LinkedIn. So when you look at my summary section, there's a section here about an interview I did about executive branding. Now you can watch that on LinkedIn. So that's what we use YouTube for basically a feed for LinkedIn. And the same thing for the Black Marketing YouTube page. But every single person, one of my employees, they put the link in their experience section, because then we will click through from our page to, say, the YouTube channel or the website. So again, we're just using YouTube as a feed, as a content supplier for LinkedIn.
Just with China blocking YouTube, is it better to upload the video directly?
Yes, although I was told the other day that they also banned that as well. And the native feed is also banned in China. Although they basically claim that they're looking at the video and it's coming soon, but basically they just keep it there for like a year until you give up. So yes, unfortunately all the videos are banned in China, as you know. But the point about content as well is you've got to basically control your own content. So if you run a video somewhere and you share it, particularly if you share it on LinkedIn, you've got to make sure that the feed, the link, is not broken or they don't take it away. The way to do that is I did this interview with the National Library in Singapore. As soon as I did it, I downloaded it, put it on my YouTube channel. Same with this one here, Channel News Asia. I made sure that I downloaded it now on my YouTube channel. Because actually Channel News Asia take away the videos, take away the interviews. So if I'm linking to it, it'll be a broken link. So you get around that by downloading it and putting it on your own YouTube channel. Take control of your own content. Otherwise it's gone. And then SlideShare is this little kind of button over here for LinkedIn, phenomenally important too. SlideShare is a great way of actually demonstrating things like PowerPoint slides and decks. And people underuse it, don't realize it's a power. So if you do a search for LinkedIn on SlideShare, 2 of my decks come up. So I'm using it. Many people don't actually use it. It's just a simple way of doing it. And again, it's free. So why wouldn't you use it? Just put, if you have that 2 decks up there, put some keywords up there, and you'll be found. And there's just another way of actually marketing yourself. And it's very much about who you know, not what you know on LinkedIn. Great example is obviously The Godfather, talking about networking, relationship building. And everyone knows that Kevin Bacon is the most connected person in Hollywood. A couple of years ago they found out that Kevin Bacon is actually attached to every single person through 6 degrees of separation. Well, LinkedIn's now 3 degrees of separation. I can basically target every single person in Singapore through my 10,000 connections in Singapore. I can basically find 500,000 second connections through my first connections. And then I can find 1.4 million third connections through my second connections. So my 10,000 first connections have actually given me 1.8 million connections in Singapore. I then repeat the trick in Hong Kong. I can reach 1.4 million people in Hong Kong out of the 1.8 million here on LinkedIn. I can reach 1.9 million people in Sydney, 1.6 million in Melbourne, 1.7 million in Shanghai, 800,000 in Zurich, and 3.2 million in London. All by having the right kind of connections who are connected to other people. So that's why it's about quality, not quantity. It's about connecting with the right kind of people you want to target and engage with. Because ultimately, people are buying people. People are buying you on LinkedIn. Great example is Elon Musk. You know, if you and I went to the banks and investment places and said, we're going to go to Mars, and you're going to pay for it, and we want several $1 billion, they would not give us the money. But Elon Musk gets it because people are buying him, people are buying his personal brand. And social selling is where this is key. It's all about LinkedIn, about how you socially sell, how you use content, but also how you use your social selling dashboard. And on Sales Navigator on LinkedIn, you can actually measure how good you are. So basically, LinkedIn gives you feedback on your brand, find the right people, engage you with insights, and then they measure.
Sorry, can I just ask a question about the metrics? How do you correlate that to monetizing this activity? Is there a correlation between your success in LinkedIn and revenue and leads?
Yes.
Because there's a lot of effort here.
Yes, completely. So this basically tracks into finding people who are active on LinkedIn and then using 12 different ways of connecting and messaging people. So what that does, what Sales Navigator gives you, is data as to how good you are at social selling. And social selling ultimately leads with people becoming your clients, which which ultimately leads to obviously making money, which ultimately leads to building a company. So we use LinkedIn to do that. We use LinkedIn for all our clients across the world to actually do this, and we communicate through 12 different ways. But you can't use these 12 different ways to message if you don't have a good personal brand, a good company brand, and a good content marketing strategy. So it's all linked together. So the best way of actually looking at how to use LinkedIn for social selling, like driving revenue, is you use your profile. Because if you optimize your profile and you actually drive people to there, you'll get them to come to you. It's the ultimate in inbound selling. You can then go through the people who view your profile and message them saying, thank you very much for viewing my profile. How can I help you build your brand? So absolutely key in terms of how you socially sell. Second best way is invitations. Invitations actually get round the need to have emails, which is premium. Because you can actually invite anybody. You don't have to use it as an invite. You can, as I do, use it as a marketing message. Because you get 250 characters. So you can actually, as I did here, set up meetings as a result of it. And people can have whole conversations with you who you're not connected to as a result of invites. So if you run out of emails with your premium, you can use invitations to actually market and set up meetings. The third best way is obviously Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is phenomenal. It's the best social selling tool. It enables you to really mine the data. Because all the data you put on there, I can find through Sales Navigator. I can find company size. I can find seniority. I can find title. I can find years at current company. I can even find school or current position. I can find function. I can even put keywords in there. Anything that you put onto LinkedIn, I can find. But so can you. You can also use Sales Navigator to create your pipeline. Now you can use this for clients, for investors, for entrepreneurs, for employees, anybody at all. And then LinkedIn even tell you if you have new leads in your search. So the key to that is, if I create a search, that is this one here, for example, so Shanghai, owner of the company, 1 to 10, second connections, and I connect with you, I get access to your first connections. If one of those people happens to be an owner of a company in Shanghai who's 1 to 10, LinkedIn tell me. And then on a daily basis, LinkedIn say, I've got 7 new leads here who fulfill your criteria. I can then go through those leads and message them and say, hey, do you want to talk about your LinkedIn? This is premium, yes. This is about 500, 600 Hong Kong dollars a month. But it's worth it because you get all the data and you create all these target lists and you can see the 30 connections. So it's phenomenal in terms of a pipeline. So if you want to build a pipeline, this is the best way of actually doing it. But you've got to have a lot of connections in these particular cities that you're targeting to actually do it. But it is phenomenal if you actually do it properly. And then you have to have a nice script, of course, to engage. But all the searches, the main searches itself, as you can see here, 1.6 thousand people in this search of Singapore, second connections, 1 to 10 owners. I can see on LinkedIn Sales Navigator that only 276 are posting on a regular basis. i.e. they are active. They're regularly posting, so they're actually on LinkedIn. Because 2/3 of people are not actually on LinkedIn on a regular basis. So how do you use the data to find out who it is? Well, Sales Navigator tells you. Now, they also happen to be premium. LinkedIn tell you, are you actually paying for the service? And then if they're also open profile, which is this button here, you actually tick the box which says, please message me for free. So I have an open profile because I want all of you to message me. Usually open profile if you want someone to actually talk to you. It's very, very important. I can also see people who change jobs. So you can write them a nice little note saying, congratulations on your new job. How can we help you with your personal branding or LinkedIn marketing? I can also see people mention the news. And again, you can personalize a message to them based on the data that LinkedIn tell you. And they can then see who my leads are, for example, whether my leads are saved in the news. So I can save you as a lead, and I can see what news is about you. Then I can message you. And you don't know I've saved you as a lead. I can also see people have changed jobs. I can also see if my leads have shared news or shared their comments. Now the cool thing about this is if Mark is a target of mine and I like and comment, he gets a notification saying Chris has commented on your article. Chris has mentioned you in a post. Chris has liked one of your articles. So the key to that is the fact that this means that he will get notifications saying Chris is doing this, Chris is doing that. If you go back to my headline about using my 500 recommendations about being a LinkedIn entrepreneur, next time Mark needs someone to do LinkedIn, he's going to think about me. Because we're socially selling him. He does not know I've saved him as a lead. So you can do the same thing. The fourth way is open profiles. So open profiles, this little button here. You can actually change this yourself if you have Sales Navigator. Now the key to this is you can target people for free. So Eduardo Saverin is open profile. Everyone knows who Eduardo Saverin is. He's a multi-billionaire co-founder of Facebook, living tax-free in Singapore. He lives tax-free there, he doesn't want to pay the US government $10 billion. So he lives there and he invests those $10 billion in Singapore startups. Now the key to it is, he has to be seen to be getting opportunities to start tech vehicles in Singapore. So he's an open profile. Whereas Darius, who's also trying to engage, is not. So the point is that Eduardo, second connection, you can send him a message for free because he's an open profile. So if any of you have an idea for an app, you can actually market to Eduardo now and say, Chris said, you're an open profile looking for something to invest in. Don't do it all at once. The point is that Darius is not. So how do I contact Darius? Well, you can send him an email. That costs you money. And if you run out of emails, what do? Well, you can invite him. But if you invited him once and he hasn't accepted, you can't invite him again. So you can't message him. Whereas you can message Eduardo. So who gets the business? It's Eduardo. Who gets the engagement? It's Eduardo. So think about that. If you want people to engage with you, you want people to come to you, use the open profile. So in summary,